attorney.
Welcome back. This time we'll be plunging into the... we're not plunging into the depths. We're soaring into the sky, I guess, would be the metaphor or saying to use. Yeah, we're at the very top of the mansion, and we will be entering through the door. Yeah, let me actually... Oh, hello. Always showing what I was watching on YouTube. Thanks. Yeah, one of the people in my Discord said that should I should check the backlog during door 4, I guess. So I don't yet know what that means, but I'll be checking it every now and then, I guess. Oh my god, my PC is making such a big noise. I hope that doesn't come through. I mean, my mic is kind of picking it up. Is it, oh, you guys can see my... Okay, well, it's not coming through here. Okay, that's good enough. Whatever, you guys saw my desktop. Unless I fade it to the black. I don't know. Yeah, let's get into door 4. And then... sorry, I didn't read the first thing out loud. You were struck with fear. The next moment, maid opened the door. And then... fade to black. You slowly I guess, yeah. You slowly descended into the darkness. Maybe I should have just stuck with the metaphor then. The 4th door. Very spooky, very mysterious. That's holy shit. 1099. Wait, when did I... last time I think we checked out when was Arthurian legend, and that was like 9th century, right? So 200 years before even this, so maybe not. Maybe I'm just worrying over it, nothing interesting. Well, obviously I'm immediately... Okay, hello. You slowly descended into darkness. You can try to remember the past, but it's an absolute, utter waste of time. Erase everything, all your sorrows. Wipe them away for a fistful of happiness. Allow me to show you that you have no need of the past. Huh. Well, that kinda contrasts with what the maid has been doing. I don't know. Okay. Spooky. Yeah, I guess that's what my Discord member meant. Set on a pot, set it on, and also pour water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it. Even every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Ooh. Wait, what are we talking about? The pieces. Huh, I guess we're just, well, maybe an animal, but more likely a human body. Okay, spooky. Very spooky start. Fill it with the choice bones. Take the choice of the flock and burn also the bones under it. And make it boil well, and let them seethe the bones of it therein. Thus said the Lord. If that is a quote from the Bible, I do not know it. I've only read bits and pieces, and definitely not in English. Woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. I love the chanting, not orchestral, but choir, I guess. Yeah. These in the background. Bring it out, piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. The white-haired girl. Okay. Where is she? Where'd she go? Was this during the witch hunt times, I guess? She came down this way, I'm sure of it. Find her! Find her! And burn her! Yeah. Burn the witch! 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 Burn her! Burn her! Burn her! Burn her! Burn her! Then will I leave thee upon the land. I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and will cause all the fowls of the heaven to remain upon thee. And I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with thee, and I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the river shall be full of thee. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. Whoever is giving this speech thing is insane. All the bright lights of the heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land. I seem to have lost them. Now, where am I? Where should I go from here? What am I to do? Darkness spreads as far as the eye can see. Not a ray of light shines down. Not a ray of light shines down upon me. All that strokes my cheek are tendrils of darkness. Every passing day, every fading hour, my world is engulfed in ebony. There exists no kindness in this shadow, only solitude. I've lost track of how long I've been on the run, wandering aimlessly, lost until I arrived at this dark forest. I no longer have anywhere to go. O Father who art in heaven, I kneel to thee within my heart and ask of thee thy blessing. O Father who art in heaven, I ask of thee to shine thy light upon me and show me the way. Please have mercy upon my soul. O Father who art in heaven, I do love thee dearly. Hallowed be thy name. Please show me the way. I may be shunned and persecuted, and I may have no place to go, but nevertheless, I am unable to give up on life, to cast aside my hope. Interesting. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me unto salvation. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me. I can no longer remember when my life became naught but running, when it became endless wandering in the dark. And now, when I've reached the point where I've long since forgotten my hunger and thirst, my voice has become hoarse, my vision gone blurry, and my consciousness begun sinking into a hazy morass. Morass? And that mansion appears before me, wrapped in a morning fog that seems to foretell rain. Ooh, animation. Very cool. So she has short hair here, kind of reminding me of Mel's silhouette. Oh fuck, I forgot to look at the silhouettes. I'll do it at the start of the next part. Fuck. Oh my. The mansion comes into view like the world fading in after a dream. It doesn't appear as though anyone lives here. All the windows are either boarded up or shuttered, as if it's long since been abandoned. A tower, which seems out of place in a personal residence, stands tall beside the mansion. I feel like this could be the maid once again telling the story, but whatever. The whole building seems as though it could disappear with the fog. Huh. It has an unwelcoming presence, freezing me in my tracks. However, if this is where you have led me, then I shall follow your guidance. Having nowhere else to go, this mansion is my only salvation. The light that guides my way. And so I must have faith that no matter what I find, whether spirits or wild beasts dwell within these walls, that this is where I will find peace. Boy. Oh. Is anyone there? I guess it is abandoned. That makes sense. It would be more unusual for someone to be living in a house so deep in the woods, so far from civilization, like it's been forgotten to time. I can't imagine anyone spending their days here. I place my hand on the front door. What if I can't get in? I very much doubt I'll find anywhere else to stay wandering around through the woods. If the door doesn't open, then I'll die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I'm not ready to forfeit my life yet. Please open. The door is heavy, and though it seems to protest my attempts to enter, it still opens much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I get the strangest impression. Light is being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. Rather than going inside, it feels as though I'm about to step outside the boundaries of this world. Very well put. Very well realized. Ooh. When I close the door, it's so dark I can't even tell where I'm walking. The real question is the maid here? I wonder if the window's open. Though I manage to fumble my way over to a window, it's tightly shuttered and the shutters are caked with rust. I'm probably not getting it open without a fight. If only I had some source of light, and then the mansion just gives you light. No? Okay. I can't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It feels like the floor will fall out from under me and I'll sink into eternal darkness if I don't watch my step. Fighting back that fear, I slowly walk forward, facing the wall with my hand. Dot dot. There's a door at the end of a long corridor. I pull it open and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushes past me. It's too dark to see anything, but I can feel something different present in this area than the rest of the house. Uneasiness grips me. Yeah, same here. Is anybody here? I fucking swear if something like the Bestia just once again jump scares me. My voice simply disappears into the void. No response. As I'm pushing forward through the freezing air, for a split second, I spot a shimmer of light. Ooh. Squinting my eyes, I'm able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it's not shuttered, but covered in drapes. My chances are slim, I imagine, but if there's even a slight possibility of getting some light in here, it's worth a shot. So I pull open the drapes. That's what I had in mind, yeah. But I wasn't really sure because she kept saying a large window, but I was more so thinking this was just an art piece, but I guess it is a window. The next moment, faint but colorful light shines down on me. It's a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I can hear subtle pitter-patter of rain. I guess it finally started. The different colors of light blend into a milky white, dim but wondrous. It's gorgeous. Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it would be... Ooh. Okay, Michelle or the maid? Michelle or the maid? I don't even remember what kind of a voice I gave to Michelle. Please do not touch the drapes. Or the windows. Suddenly I hear a voice, and I can sense someone else in the room. The man's voice is emotionless, neither deep nor high. Okay, sure, let's just... Before long, he comes into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight. Ooh, spooky. Glitched out. That's never good. I'm sorry for coming uninvited. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Michelle was a woman. But I guess Michelle is the quote-unquote man we've seen in the main menu with inspect your memories. Fair enough. Yeah. But I did announce myself. The man stands there, practically blending in with the darkness. Has he been there the whole time? He's staring straight at me. His gaze wavers slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. The candle in his hand and the light from the stained glass window are the only illumination in the room, neither of which are particularly bright. As a result, his outline is faint and blurred. It gives off the impression that he might vanish entirely between blinks. If that has already happened and I have missed it due to blinks, that would be really cool. My apologies. I assumed the house was abandoned. I suspect you would have preferred it to be abandoned. Not at all. Is this, do you live in this mansion? Yes, I have for a very long time. Okay? So way older than 1099. Or yeah, I think that was the year. I thought I had barred the front door, but it would seem I left it open. What brings you here? If you're lost, I'm happy to give you directions. There is a village west of here. It should take you maybe half a day on foot. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. Trade it for food at the village. Then make your way to a larger town. Please, allow me to stay here. The blink. Could you repeat that? I cannot go to the village. No, I cannot go anywhere. I am no longer able to freely return to any town. I'm being haunted. You seem rather young to be a sinner. So you have transgressed. I am neither a thief nor an adulterer. If I bear any sin, then it has been with me since birth. I will do everything I can to stay out of your way. I simply ask that you grant me shelter until it all blows over. If you wish to know of my transgression, I will tell you. So please, do not throw me out. I see. And do you ask this of me, aware of how people refer to this mansion? Pardon? It is said that a witch once lived in this house. And not just any witch, a cursed witch. This house has been tainted by her seething hatred, and all who dwell within it meet their demise. But you live here, don't you? Like her, I too am cursed. What kind of curse? The one thing I can tell you is that your life is in danger if you get involved with me. ... I wonder if this is the white-haired girl's first life. And by getting involved with Michelle here, she somehow gains the power to reincarnate, I guess. Yeah. Should you approach my curse, I am likely to take your life. You'll kill me? Yes, so you do not belong here. God, it's a big moth. Weird. Go away. To live with me in this mansion is to sentence yourself to death. Mm. No matter what path I choose, I very much doubt I have a future. And if that's the case, then I shall live how I want. I don't care what people say about you or this mansion. I wish to stay here. Being proactive, that's nice to always see. You might think I'm rather strange, but my heart tells me that I must stay here. That I was guided here. And hearing what you have to say only reinforces that. What are you scheming? I am not scheming anything. I am simply tired of running. So if your curse is going to kill me, then perhaps that's for the best. At the very least, you won't be hunting me. You won't try to flay me, or tear off my arms, or rip the flesh from my bones. And that's enough for me. If you have committed no sin, then why do they hunt you so fervently? I am accused of being a witch. What does that make you feel, Michelle? Because you spoke of the witch. Master, please wake up, return to me. Ah, have you come too, Master? I apologize for sending you through the door without warning. I wonder if the maid witnessed that with us or not. It must have given you quite the scare. But I beg your forgiveness. I heard a terrible screaming from down the stairs, and I panicked. You say you saw the white-haired girl? Okay, so she didn't really really experience what we experienced. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just checking my phone because I got a notification on it from YouTube, and luckily that didn't show up here. I managed to figure out finally how to make notifications not appear. You say you saw the white-haired girl? I see. So you made it into the world beyond the door before me. Yeah. I am deeply relieved that I was able to take your hand before losing sight of you. I presume you have already grown familiar with the atmosphere of this time period, Master. If you have seen her, as you said, then you should have a basic grasp of the situation. She was a very misfortunate girl in this era, accused of being a witch, abused and persecuted. Her life was in constant danger. It was, again, her appearance that brought this upon her. That snow-white hair and those ruby-red eyes clearly differentiated her from everyone else. Oh, and I apologize. I neglect to mention that this story is unique. As for what sets it apart, that will be made clear as we proceed through one difference, though one difference is in the time period. The tales I have shown you began with that of the beautiful flaxen-haired family, followed by the tale of the bloodthirsty beast, and then the tale of steel and ambition, proceeding in chronological order. However, the door we have just entered takes us to the period now known as the Middle Ages, long, long before the long before the other three tales. Yeah, and I am still keeping it in the back of my mind about what they said about this next door possibly being at the end, very end, it being like an illusion or something, something not quite right, or I forget the exact wording. I'll go take a look between this part and the next part, both at the silhouettes and at the wording of whatever she said then, or it might have been the man in the mirror. Yes, that is correct. This is where it all began. Interesting. So either this is Michelle's first time living, or like first time. I don't think we've seen Michelle in other areas, so yeah. But this is assumedly then just normally where Michelle lived the time period. Though it is kinda strange because I got the or I don't know. I just had the impression that Michelle was like kinda immortal being, much like the maid and white-haired girl, seemingly. But yeah, Michelle was already in the mansion. I guess as the master of the mansion this time. The mansion's curse, the truth of the witch, and your identity. All of this should be made known. If, after this tale, you are still unable to reclaim your old self, then there is nothing more I can do. It doesn't show. I would need. Well, but why? Why do not let me drag this up? I can scroll, but I can't go. Whatever. This door contains the last tale I am about to tell you. Are we actually approaching the end of this game, or is this like a turning point of this story? I don't know. I feel like at the very least after this door there's an epilogue of sorts. So I ask of you, please do not let go of my hand until it is all over. Also, since Michelle was now referred to as a man, there was indeed a man in the mirror whose identity we did not see. And they were looking for their friend. Okay. Now then, let us begin a beautiful, tragic love story. Love story of two solitary souls trapped in a mansion of darkness. Yeah, sure. In that era, the mansion was a dungeon draped in darkness. After a great deal of time on the run, the white-haired girl found herself at a remote mansion that stood in a dark, overgrown forest. All the windows were either boarded or shuttered, and it was even darker inside the house than out. Not even a ray of moonlight could enter those walls. Only naturally, the white-haired girl had assumed that nobody lived there. But her guess was incorrect. Someone did, indeed, dwell in the house. It was a young man named Michel. Okay, I guess Michel is a guy, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, game. Though she could not make out the details of his face in the candlelight, she thought him a very handsome man. However, he proclaimed to her that a witch resided within the mansion, and that he too was cursed. Everyone who got close to him lost their lives. Do you think what he told her was all nonsense? No. Maybe, I don't know. I like the white-haired girl, I really can't read Michelle. A lie devised to chase her out of the house. The truth of the matter shall come to light in time. I guess it shall. Despite Michelle's assertions, the white-haired girl decided she would take up residence within the mansion. This era's white-haired girl was younger than the others. She was still in her early teens, young enough to be seen as still a child. Interesting. But she was neither a self-centered nor irresponsible, as you might expect of someone her age. She was very delicate and reserved, and acted with a great deal of modesty and restraint. The accusations of her being a criminal and a sinner were grossly inappropriate. Nevertheless, she was still chased from her home, barely managing to flee to this mansion with her life. Now, the white-haired girl thought it would be rude to simply take up space in the mansion, so she chased down the master, Michel, and asked, is there anything I can do to help? I will clean or cook or do anything. Just let me know. I want to repay you for allowing me to stay here. You need not feel indebted to me. The weight of that obligation will only turn into disdain. But I can't just stay here and do nothing. Do whatever you like. As long as you do not enter my room. That is all I ask of you. He said emotionlessly, turning away and walking off. Michel was not, I believe, spurning her. He was merely disinterested. He did not treat her disrespectfully, nor did he seem averse to her presence. Words simply did not seem to affect him at all. Not only was the mansion a prison for his body was also a prison ensnaring his heart. I should still do whatever I can, but she did not let that get her down. In fact, she might have even interpreted his disinterest as kindness. Fair enough. The only one not hunting her down. Though he was a bit standoffish, he did not attempt to cause her harm. He was nothing like the people who had accused her of being a witch, and forced her to flee for her life, yeah. True. And she was deeply grateful for that. Thus began their quiet life together. Michelle, who avoided contact with others, and the white-haired girl who had taken a great deal of abuse from others. Two people who knew hardly anything about one another, who were too distant to really be said to be living together. I'm curious how this will end in a tragedy, or assumed tragedy, because with their personalities, I don't see any real conflict unless the white-haired girl, due to some situation, decides to enter Michelle's room, which is weird because I feel like she normally would listen and take advice and not go against the wishes of others. I don't know. I guess she is younger here, so she could be more impulsive. Or maybe there will be a situation like Michelle not leaving his room or study or whatever for days, and white-haired girl getting worried and thus entering the room, and that somehow triggers stuff. Oh, and then also there's always a possibility of outside intervention of like the villagers barging into the mansion to hunt the white-haired girl down. That's always a possibility. This goddamn with flying critter. His space. Yep. Michel spent most of his day in his chambers, though they only ever saw each other occasionally, and they hardly ever spoke. Yeah, I could see this door lasting for months or years before anything happens. Though they stayed in the same house, they both still lived solitary lives. Nonetheless, the white-haired girl wanted to get to know Michel better. She wanted to know why he called himself cursed. Why he lived alone in this dark mansion. How many days, how many years had he had spent here in solitude? And while she waited for the opportunity, she also started doing things around the house. The library, yeah. The first project she set out to take care of was cleaning, naturally. Windows were all firmly shut. Her only source of light was candles. For whatever reason, there was a great deal of candles stored in the cellar. The cellar, fuck that place. She wondered where on earth he had acquired so many, but she never found the opportunity to ask him. Oh, I thought that would advance the story by pressing spacebar. Never mind. It was difficult to even see all the dust and cobwebs with only candlelight, and considering the poor airflow through the house, she was afraid her efforts were going to be in vain. Still, she persisted, sweeping and wiping things down, one room at a time. Eventually, she made her way to the library. The dust had settled. The dust that had settled there was much heavier than in any other room. With each breath, she had to fight back coughs. It was not a room one would normally be comfortable spending much time in, but the sight of so many bulky volumes lining the shelves sent her heart aflutter with delight. They're books. Incredible. Real books. Yeah. The white-haired girl had never seen a book before. She had heard people describe them, but that was the first time she had ever seen one for herself. Parchment was a very valuable commodity in that era. It was something monks or scholarly priests made use of, and not a material one could easily acquire without some degree of social rank. Books were not printed with machines, but copied by hand. A single volume took an incredible amount of work to create. Even the process of binding was an art. Standing before a shelf, she stared intently at the spines. There's so much dust. Does he not read any of them? Just a peek. Just a tiny little peek, she said, making excuses to the empty room as she reached her hand toward one of the books. The tome that caught her eye was on the upper shelf. It bore gorgeous jade embossing and looked like it belonged in a treasure chest. Okay. Mm, almost. Though she tended to act older than her age, the white-haired girl was still in her early teens and not especially tall. Even standing tiptoe, it was still just barely within reach. At long last, her slender fingers made contact with the spine, and she began to pull the book toward her. Ah! The library had sat abandoned for some time, causing the covers to stick together. So, yeah. So when she attempted to pull one out, several others tilted with it. And then everything comes crashing down. Yeah. Almost all the books on the shelf came avalanching down onto her. Ow! The white-haired girl groaned, buried under a mountain of parchment. She hoped she had not damaged any of her host's valuable collection, for the mess was enough of a setback already in her attempt to express her gratitude. Looking around, she saw one volume that was almost torn in half. She did not know whether it was in that condition before, or if it had happened in the fall. But nonetheless, she felt horribly guilty. Sitting there, unable to get back to her feet, tears began welling in her eyes. Aww. Then, suddenly, a shadow fell over the dejected girl. It took a book in its hand and returned it to the shelf. For a brief moment, the shadow's hand reached hesitantly toward the white-haired girl, then changed course towards another book. Ah! It was Michel. There was a hint of perplexity in his otherwise emotionless eyes. Perhaps he had heard the noise and come to see what had caused it. I'm sorry. Your books, What? What were you doing? I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make a mess. I didn't mean to damage such precious books. There's no need to panic. I'm sorry. You make it sound as though I'm admonishing you. What? Did you want to read a book? Um, I do, but that's not what I originally came here to clean. Clean? Yes, I felt guilty simply being idle. I did say you could do as you pleased. You have no responsibility to clean anything. I just ended up making a bigger mess anyway. Oh, did I skip a line? Yeah. I'm sorry. You needn't apologize. Uh, okay. If you want to read, help yourself to any of the books. But I don't know how to read. I just thought the cover was pretty, so I wanted to hold it. You're free to use them however you wish. If looking at them is enough for you, by all means. These are all your books, aren't they? They are. They are. That's incredible. You have so many. It must have taken you a long time to acquire them all. One per month. I do not believe you unless you are already way older. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 15 per column. 15, 30. Well, there's like 20 there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's like 30 columns here, and in every one there's like 15 or more. So that's like 450, I think. Yeah. 450 weeks, months, sorry. Which is like 450 divided by 12 would be stupid brain, like 35 years. No, 450 divided by 450 divided by 12, yeah, 37 and a half years. At the very least, just this one image here. And based on your appearance, you don't seem like appearance wise, so yeah. Either you are very, very old, or you're lying, or maybe I'm reading too much into it, and it's just like, yeah, okay, sure. You just have collected them over the span of your life. Whatever option is the correct one, I do not know, but sure, one per month. Let's go with it for now. What? My family sends me one every month. Every month? The white-haired girl turned her gaze back toward the shelves, squinting her eyes and beginning to count. When she finished, she was in awe. There were in excess of 100 books on the shelves, which meant he had lived there in solitude for many years. There were in excess of 100 books. Okay, well, 100 is a more reasonable amount. So that's 100 divided by 12, so under a decade. But yeah, sure, that is reasonable. Although I feel like that's way more than 100 books. Yeah, it would take some time to count them. But sure. She was at a loss for words. Their dull tones, dreadfully inoffensive and Not even interesting enough to waste a few hours with. Decoration is all they're good for. I see. If you can put them to some use, then perhaps my having them won't be entirely meaningless anymore. I am going to return to my room. Don't feel obligated to clean this up. To clean up. Just a minute. Was there something else? Could you tell me your name? Did Michelle never tell? I just realized I never asked for your name. Not knowing what to call you will make conversation awkward. Oh, god damn it. I don't think I double clicked. What is going on? I swear if that's the game doing it, it's insane. You don't need my name to. I want to, though. Michelle. Michelle. Like the Archangel. I guess, but I thought the Archangel was Michael, or... Yeah. Maybe it's Michelle. I don't know. In the Finnish version, it's Mikael. So like Michael, but the CH replaced with a K and pronounced a bit differently, like Mikael. Or Mikael, yeah. But sure, I guess. Michelle. Mikkel? Maybe it's Mikkel and I've been pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry if I have. Michelle or Mikkel. Mikkel would sound more masculine, but I don't know. He's kind of androgynous. I don't know. I'll fix it for the next part. I'll ask around. How do you pronounce it? Michelle or Mikkel? The name suits you quite well. It suits me. It does. Although it's difficult to see you in the dark. You seem to be a very handsome man, befitting of your name. I beg to differ. Giving me his name is the highest form of mockery. I expect the real Archangel is probably rather annoyed by it. I don't know. I think it's a wonderful name. And your... Ooh, are we finally gonna get it, or is the game gonna censor it again? Huh? No, never mind. Okay, never mind. Oh, my name. Okay. Game. Just like that. You're just gonna give it to me like that, huh? Is that how it is, game? Huh. Also, another that kind of name, which is I hate when I don't know how to instantly pronounce it. Okay, we finally have a name. Whether it is true or not, I don't know, because there was a pause. Then again, her speech pattern pauses a lot, or uses lots of dots. So this could be her real name, or she could have just lied. So we don't know that, but let's just assume that is her real name. Yeah, the problem is I don't know if it's Giselle or Giselle. Giselle or Giselle? Giselle sounds more correct to my ears, but who fucking knows? English is a stupid language anyways. Yeah, I don't think I know like I'm not very uh literate with old English media or uh poetry or older stories or Shakespearean stuff or that kind of realm of things. I'm not too familiar with them, so I don't know if this name is important or like supposed to be recognizable. Like as soon as the name is given out, should I be like, oh, it's that name that belongs to that play from Shakespeare, or it's that name from the Bible, or oh yeah, that's the fairy tale I remember hearing as a kid, because I'm not from England or US or different culture. So yeah, feel free to uh I don't know. Is this the kind of thing where if I should recognize, or the game expects me to recognize the name, but then I don't? Is this the kind of situation where you guys should still not tell me anything? Or is this the kind of situation where you guys should fill me in on what is expected to know? At least not in terms of this game, obviously, but in terms of real life Shakespearean play or a fairy tale or whatever. Not sure. Okay, I've been asking for it, and we finally have a name. Okay, I'm gonna go with Giselle, I guess. Yeah, feel free to correct me. I'm probably gonna ask around in Discord here with both of their names. My name is Giselle. Please call me Giselle. Oh, thank goodness. Or what? That I was able to get your name and talk to you for a little bit. We haven't seen much of each other ever since I first arrived, so I'm glad that I get to hear your voice. So very glad. You gain nothing by speaking to me. You have no responsibility to do so, and there is no need for you to feel joy about it. I'm not pleased out of some sense of responsibility or necessity. It's just depressing not being able to have a conversation with someone living in the same house. That hits kind of hard with door 3. You do not understand me at all. Just as I said on that first day, my curse will one day kill you. But I'm still alive, aren't I? You are welcome to believe I am lying, or that I am merely out of my mind. But it will be too late when you realize the truth. Same thing said to, or similar-ish thing said to us, the master. I'll be fine, I'm sure. And even if I do die because of your curse, I promise I won't hold a grudge. Could you possibly be keeping away from me out of concern? No, I simply have no interest in interacting with anyone. Yo, Michelle is literally me. Literally me. Just leave me alone. Let me be alone for years, please. For God's sake. Okay, no, I enjoy time with friends whenever I'm with them, but I greatly enjoy my time alone as well. I would like to interact with you, if you don't mind, that is. Hmm. As I told you, you have nothing to gain from that. I have nothing, not even words, to give you. My body is but a shell. Even if I were not cursed, my presence would do naught but cause you discomfort. I don't think that's true. I don't believe that there's anyone in this world with absolutely nothing. There's plenty inside you. You simply haven't noticed it yet. And not all of it will only cause others pain either. Hmm. If you truly believe those words, then you are a foolhardy girl. How can you trust someone you only just met? For that matter, how do you not resent everyone? Resent? Resent them? I can take a guess as to why people call you a witch, and why you had to flee all the way to this mansion. Ah, your white hair and red eyes. Your white hair and red eyes. That abnormal, seemingly inhuman appearance drew their condemnation. And I can think of any number of reasons they might have started treating you less than human. Perhaps people around you experienced misfortune, or perhaps there was a natural disaster, a famine, a plague, some kind of external phenomenon, and you were their scapegoat. That's how it usually went back in the olden days. Yes, you are, by and large, correct. Correct. Then what would make me as unworthy of your trust? Then that would make me as unworthy of your trust as anyone else. I make no claim to having your interests in mind. But you haven't been instantly hostile either, so that's still better. Goodbye. Uh, um, if you don't mind, could you teach me how to read sometime? Did you listen to anything I said? I listened. Yes. I I have no intention of idolizing you. I don't expect you to do anything for me, and I don't wish to burden you in any way. I simply wish to be allowed to be at your side. It does not matter to me what kind of person you may be. Hmm. That is all I want. I apologize for keeping you. Please consider it, if it's not too much trouble. Hmm. As the master of the house, Michel, made his way out of the library, he appeared to be slightly rattled. Perhaps the white-haired girl's determination had ignited something in his chained heart. Or perhaps it was something else. She stared toward the darkness into which Michel had disappeared. Then she carefully wrapped her arms around the jade-embossed tome. A soft smile spreading across her lips. That's rare, but also, aw. He's a decent man. I'm sure of it. We are like he and I. And thus began to blossom within her heart within her a faint sense of fellowship. Someone who also knew solitude. Hmm. Do we stop here? Yeah. This part is gonna be a bit shorter, but I'll be soon releasing. Maybe not this week, but probably next week or the week after. I'm gonna do some bonus parts, so hopefully that will make up for the loss of little time in this one. Yeah, very interesting start to this part. One thing that I had in mind earlier was what was it? It was something about Michelle, why he's acting the way he is towards the girl, or it was something about fuck, I forgot. I'll try to remember for the beginning of the next part. So many things stacking up for the next part. Okay, interesting. I'm still not seeing how there could ever be a real like clash or like a way for things to go down unless it is one of those things that I previously mentioned. Yeah. Very curious, and I'm I'm very interested to see how this one will end and what will happen afterwards. Like, I'm obviously interested in this door too, because we have two of the um, most intriguing, I guess, characters in the story. Yeah, I think I said something along those lines, yeah, in the character tier list video. Cool. Okay, this was the start to door 4. And we will probably be spending a decent amount of time here. I'm kind of curious about the very beginning. Like, we entered the door, but then it was a fake out and we were brought out. And then we went back in with the maid. So that was interesting as well. Okay. Like, we kind of started telling the tale, then we traced back and nope, we're actually starting now. So that makes me curious about the supposed illusion or keeping an eye out or false something. Like, what if we were actually starting to see the real tale, but now when we went out and came back in with the maid, maybe we're now seeing the fake story and the real story which we would have seen is now just brewing in the background. That's my I guess theory for this part about what's going on in this story, in this door. Yeah. So what do we have going on in the background? We have to keep an eye out for the end of this story, and for this door. We have the man in the mirror and their friend, and we have a key that we found, and we got to go to the master bedroom. And in door 3, Maria found the painting, which I feel like that's still kinda up in the air. And then there's the, well, it's not really a thing, it's just me wanting to quickly check the silhouettes. And the white-haired girl is younger here. I also want to recheck when the Arthurian legends were actually going on with a Google search, if it was before 1099 or yeah. And what else? I'm gonna also have a think about if the other doors and their stories are just fully closed now, or if they will have further meaning going forward. Because I feel like yeah, they were great stories on their own, obviously, and I was very much invested in all of them, and even got emotional or hyped in a couple of them. But I'm just wondering if there could be any relevance beyond those doors, because we are kind of reliving memories for the sake of discovering ourselves. And then between the doors we also saw supposed silhouettes of all of them, so, or most of them. So yeah, curious. I kind of want to also, for some reason, I want to revisit the first introduction of the white-haired girl and the ending of door 1 also. Like I'm a bit hazy on the ending. I know that Nelly kind of skinned, flayed her hair or something, and maybe well, clearly assaulted her, and then wore her hair as her own. And then the white-haired girl escaped, and when Mel was searching for her, he met the supposed beggar who had been there since the beginning of the game. And the beggar turned out to be the white-haired girl, is that right? Like, how does that whole thing work out? Was the beggar at the very last scene a different beggar, and this time it was the white-haired girl, or had it always been the white-haired girl? And yeah, lots of things to consider going forward. Also, I'm gonna also while editing, I'm gonna go check out the thing in the backlog we saw at the beginning of door 4, the red text. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Patreon early access 2 weeks. Link down in the description, and come hang out in the Discord too for and talk about this story. It's very interesting, and I would be very interested in hearing about all the literature references that I personally do not know. Yeah, cool. Okay, see ya. Bye.